Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're following the money.
We are.
Specifically, we're tracking dollars from the huge opioid settlement funds. Now, for so many communities, this is a massive opportunity to finally tackle substance use disorder, but the details of how that money is spent, that's where the story is.
That is absolutely the story. And our mission today is to get really, really granular on that. We're looking at a single procurement request, a whole stack of documents, actually.
Okay.
We've got an email from the Chief of Police, John L. Hearn, from Newtown Township, and 4 different vendor quotes.
Right.
And it's all about spending $110,000 of this public health money.
Right. So we're not just talking about policy ideas here. We are looking at the exact vehicle, the specific hardware, and the stated purpose for it.
Exactly.
So I guess the big question we're trying to answer in this deep dive is, how does $110,000 of public health money that's meant for prevention and recovery, turn into a highly specialized police-grade community outreach vehicle?
It's the perfect window into how this all works on the ground. And it really starts with that initial request from Chief Hearn. He lays it out pretty clearly. He wants to use opioid settlement funds, which, isn't authorized use for this kind of outreach.
And the goal, as he states it, is to create a mobile platform, right? To take recovery resources directly to places that don't have, say, a local treatment center.
Precisely. To fill in the gaps. A mission that, on its face, sounds perfectly aligned with the spirit of the settlement.
It sounds great, but the way they went about buying it, that reveals a lot, doesn't it?
It reveals everything. So the chief puts forward this nice round number, $110,000, and he breaks it down into 4 parts.
Okay.
But the key detail, and you really have to catch this, is that all these parts were sourced from what are called co-stars vendors. For anyone listening who hasn't had to deal with government buying, that detail is critical.
Let's unpack that. Co-stars. It's jargon to me, so what is it, and why is it so important here?
So co-stars is basically a state-run cooperative purchasing program. Think of it as a shortcut. Instead of a town going through a super long public bidding process for, say, a new police car.
Which take months.
They could just buy off these pre-negotiated state contracts. The vendors have already been vetted. The pricing is locked in.
So it's faster. It's efficient.
It is. But here's the catch. A lot of these co-stars vendors are highly specialized. They sell to law enforcement, to emergency services. So by going down this road, the Newtown PD immediately plugged into a supply chain that's built for high-end police gear, not necessarily a standard community van.
And you can see that in the budget right away. The 4 items are a $65,000 estimate for the truck itself, a 2026 Chevy Silverado PPV, police pursuit vehicle, $25,000 for emergency upfitting, $12,000 for an Exxon camera system, and $8,000 for a mobile radio. I mean, it's heavy-duty stuff from the get-go.
It is.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right into that base vehicle, because this is where the public health mission and the actual hardware start to really go in different directions.
Okay.
The truck they bought is a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 4WD crew cab. Final price, with the cap and everything, $62,788.
A Silverado. Okay. It's a tough truck. I get that. But, there's durable, and then there's something else. What in the specs tells us this is more than just a work truck for carrying flyers?
Well, they didn't just get the base model.
Yeah.
Not even close. The documents show they opted for the big 5.3-liter V8 engine. And choosing that engine automatically forced a bunch of other upgrades: a heavy-duty transmission, heavy-duty brakes, an auto-locking rear differential. These are all things you get for a vehicle that's going to be under high stress consistently.
But the real tell here has to be the 9C1 police pursuit package.
That's the one.
That's an extra $4,570. Why on earth does a community outreach vehicle need a police pursuit package?
That package is the definition of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's what turns a civilian truck into an emergency-ready fleet vehicle. It gives you things like a high-capacity air filter, skid plates for rough terrain, and, this is crucial, a massive 220-amp alternator.
And that alternator, that's to power all the extra electronics we're about to talk about, right? The lights, the computers, the radio. A standard truck couldn't handle that load.
Not a chance. And the 9C1 package also gives you these special operational calibrations, like the speedometer is calibrated differently, and get this, surveillance mode interior and exterior lighting calibration.
Wait, say that again?
Surveillance mode. It lets the officers inside manually kill all the automatic lights interior, exterior, when the truck stops, so they can sit and observe without being seen.
A vehicle for promoting community trust needs a surveillance mode. That seems to go completely against the whole idea of an open public health mission.
It certainly creates attention, and it continues inside the cab. You look at the line items, $50 for inoperative rear windows.
Meaning they don't roll down.
Right. And another $69 for inside rear doors, inoperative. They can only be opened from the outside.
Okay, that's for transporting prisoners. I mean, that's the only reason you have that feature. So who are they planning to put in the back seat of their substance abuse prevention truck?
And this is where you see the department's mindset. They're ensuring that even if the primary mission is outreach, the truck itself is still fully compliant with police operational standards. They are, in essence, buying a patrol unit and just giving it a different job title.
But that completely complicates the message, doesn't it? You're trying to offer help to someone who's maybe distrustful of authority, and you pull up in a vehicle that's literally designed to keep people from getting out of the back seat.
It's a huge communication barrier, a profound irony.
Wow.
And that tension just gets amplified when we look at the upfitting. This is the $25,000 quote from Havas Inc. that turns it from a truck into something else.
Yeah, this is where it gets that visual presence. This thing is designed to announce itself.
Unmistakably. I mean, despite being an outreach vehicle, they specified a 54-inch low-profile light bar on the roof. Red, white, blue, amber, directional lights. The works.
And not just the light bar.
No. A siren and control head, tracer lights mounted on the running boards, and a big push bumper on the front that has its own set of red, blue, and white lights built right in.
So it is the complete visual package of an emergency response vehicle. You would never mistake this for, I don't know, a mobile library.
Never. And you have to ask, why the full emergency suite if the role is non-emergency, if it's education and prevention?
The justification, I suppose, is officer safety? Or maybe they could use it as a command post in some other situation.
They could absolutely make that argument, that it maximizes the asset's utility. But the immediate visual impact on the street is 100% law enforcement.
And on the inside, it's not just an office, it's a command center. I'm seeing a console with a printer housing, computer mounts, and a charge guard that keeps the computers running for 2 hours with the engine off.
The operational readiness is, it's extreme. And even the cargo area tells this story. On one hand, they have these amazing organizational systems. A deck drawer system, a cargo glide system.
Which makes sense for keeping supplies organized. You know, Narcan kits, pamphlets, whatever.
Totally logical. But then inside that very organized system, bolted to the cargo slide, is a 1.8 cubic foot depository drop safe.
A safe. What is an outreach team doing that requires a bolted down safe? I mean, are they handling evidence, large amounts of cash? It just doesn't track with an educational mission.
It suggests a need for a level of security that goes beyond just, locking up a petty cash box.
And the last piece of hardware inside, it seals it for me. The underseat storage box. The passenger side is for electrical equipment, fine. But the spec sheet explicitly says the driver's side is configured for the storage of long guns.
That right there. That detail takes this vehicle from dual use straight to patrol ready. A recovery specialist, a counselor. They do not need dedicated storage for a rifle. An armed police officer does.
So this vehicle isn't just for outreach. It's designed to be a fully connected, fully protected, and operationally ready platform for armed law enforcement.
No question.
Okay, let's talk about the tech then. Because it's not just armored and lit up, it's hyper-connected. We're talking almost $20,000 in just the communications and data systems.
Let's start with the radio. It's a Motorola APX 6500, costs over $7,600. And this isn't just a radio for calling dispatch. This is high-end tactical comms.
What makes it so tactical? What's the key feature here?
AES encryption. That's the advanced encryption standard. It's military grade. It means no one can listen in on their radio traffic. So you have to ask, why does an outreach team talking to community partners need to operate on a closed, encrypted police channel?
It's about operational security for police work, not public health coordination.
Exactly. And it has all these other features like OTAP and Smart Connect to make sure it's always connected to the state radio network. Maximum connectivity. Which leads us to the final and maybe the most significant piece of tech.
The Axon camera system.
The Axon system. And it's a big investment, over $11,000, but it's a subscription spread out over 40 months.
Right, so they're not just buying a camera, they're buying into an entire data ecosystem for the long term.
And it's the Axon Fleet 3 Advanced system. So you get the 2 cameras, unlimited cloud storage, which is standard, but it's the licenses they bought that tell the real story.
What do the licenses include?
Real-time location tracking, real-time alerts, live streaming capability, and automatic license plate recognition, ALPR.
ALPR. We have to stop there. For anyone listening, ALPR is active surveillance. The cameras scan thousands of license plates a minute and check them against police hot lists for stolen cars, warrants, anything. It's a pure criminal enforcement tool.
It is. So to be clear, the department used opioid settlement funds, money for recovery, to buy a vehicle and equip it with a state-of-the-art surveillance system designed for real-time tracking and enforcement.
It's the ultimate expression of that dual mission we've been talking about. It's a public health mission wrapped in an enforcement and surveillance package.
I mean, how does having an ALPR system help you hand out Narcan or talk to someone about treatment options? The only way it helps is if the mission isn't just outreach, but also includes intelligence gathering or active patrol.
That's the question this all raises, isn't it? So let's try to connect all these dots. We've tracked the $110,000. What does this whole procurement really tell us?
Well, first, from a purely fiscal perspective, it was a success. The final quotes came in at $106,500,
Great.
right on budget. They used the CoStar system efficiently to get what they wanted.
But what they wanted is the key. They used public health money to buy what is, by every single specification, a police pursuit, surveillance-ready, tactical vehicle. From the 9C1 package and the siren to the long gun storage and the ALPR, it's all built for police operations.
Right. The specifications prioritize police standards, officer safety, durability, connectivity, over the needs of, say, a non-threatening, accessible public health platform. The vehicle is designed to fit perfectly into the department's existing enforcement fleet.
They've guaranteed the highest level of protection and tech for their officers while they do this non-enforcement job. But the vehicle that comes out of that process is, in every way, a mobile arm of the police.
And that really gets to the core tension for communities all over the country dealing with these funds. Is it better to build these super durable, dual-use vehicles that can serve multiple purposes and keep officers safe? Or does putting all that police gear, the siren, the ALPR, the prisoner doors, does that completely undermine the trust you need to do effective community-based recovery work?
It's a huge trade-off. They've created a vehicle that has maximum capability, but it might just complicate the mission by wrapping it in a law enforcement shell.
Exactly. The truck is ready for anything, but that readiness might come at the cost of being seen as a neutral helping hand. It basically dictates that in this community, recovery outreach will be delivered through the lens and under the watch of the police department.
That is definitely something to think about. We want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into how a budget line becomes a reality on the street.
It's always fascinating to see how these decisions play out in the real world.
And we want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. When public funding is for one mission, public health, but the tools used come entirely from another law enforcement, how much does the nature of the tool itself end up changing the mission? Are vehicles like this the efficient future of government services, or are they a missed opportunity for a purely trust-based, non-enforcement approach? Keep asking those questions.